Hello. Welcome to today's reading. I'm extremely nervous. I think I'm already picking up on the divine masculine, but these messages I feel are very important, and I feel called to talk about the divine masculine specifically today, or whenever you're watching this. And we're gonna go ahead and just get right into it. But before I start, I want to say the other day I recorded an energy update called the Paradigm Shift, Cosmic Energy Update, the Paradigm Shift. Highly recommend going to watch that. There should be a link either in the description or in the comments. So this is pile 1. This is pile 2. This is pile 3. So just take your time and then choose a pile, and then you can find the timestamps in the description. Ooh, pile 1. Welcome. Bienvenue. So I believe this is the pile where I'm getting the nervousness from. Before we start, at the end of this reading, I'm going to answer a question with a yes or no bowl, like here, because I felt that today was the day. So go ahead now, I don't know, pause the video if you need to, and think of 1 or 2 questions that you want answered with a yes and no. So yes or no questions, go ahead and think of those. Remember them or write them down, I don't know, but save that to the end. I'm itchy suddenly. Before I was getting ready to record this, I had a lot of trouble with my throat chakra. I was like, am I gonna be able to record this? Because I kept like, But now that I'm speaking in the energy of pile number 1, I feel like I know what I want. Like I have a clearer voice, even though I am nervous. So this reading is supposed to be messages for the divine masculine, specifically from the higher self of the divine masculine, or, from the divine masculine aspect or part that is source. But for this pile, I feel like there's some divine masculine that wants to say something to you. So this is a message from the divine masculine. So depending on who's watching this, you'll need to change it up. Just go based on how you feel. Because for some people, you are the divine masculine that the messages are from. It's just from your higher self. And for other people, this is a divine masculine that that you are closely connected with in terms of your energy. And I'm hearing your love life. And this is a message from their higher self that they want to speak to you. This person, they're coming across like they know what they want to say. I feel like, I don't know, when I first was getting ready for this reading, I kept hearing the song Love's Embarrassing by Olivia Rodrigo. And it's like, God loves embarrassing, just watch as I crucify myself. Hey, 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 for some weird second string loser who's not worth mentioning, my God loves embarrassing as hell. So I feel like they made some sort of choice recently, and I feel like this is something you know about, and they feel really embarrassed about it. For some people, this will be like some sort of romantic situationship that this person was involved in with somebody who was not worth their time, not worth their energy, doesn't hold a fucking candle to you. Excuse the profanity. But you know what I mean? Like they don't hold nothing to you, but they gave this person a lot of their time. So this card, I did not pull this. I was opening the deck up and it just fell out. It just landed right on pile 1. So there's that. You have, let's move the camera down. You have, I'll use the Star of Venus. So yeah, you are very precious to this person. like they hold you in a very sacred space. And again, if you are the person this message is coming from, just change it up. But I probably, because I'm picking up this is for somebody else, I'm gonna speak that way. They hold you so, I don't know, just in a very sacred space. And I feel like you also make them feel special and love themselves. There's a part of themselves that they don't show anybody. It's very soft, it's very feminine. This is the part of them that laughs at, I don't know, TV shows like Ed, Ed and Eddie. They like, stupid things, childish things. The part of them that likes, I don't know, spray can cheese, like the cheese that comes in the cans. I feel like they hid a lot of those parts of themselves because, maybe they got picked on when they were younger. But, the thing with a lot of masculine people, especially specifically men and boys, like they get a lot of shame for anything that's not considered to be manly. And you make them feel proud about those parts of themselves that are soft and intimate and not fully formed as well. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to like know everything and like be about stuff. You make them feel comfortable not to know and not to have everything figured out. I'm even noticing now, like the way that I'm talking, it's very deliberate. Like I'm pronouncing all the consonants like with a lot of like precision. And so I feel like you make them feel professional, oddly enough. I don't know how to describe it. Like you make them feel relaxed, but they also feel like they don't have to like dumb themselves down around you. Because, another thing about being a part of the boys club is like you can be, you got to be smart and you got to have your stuff figured out, but you can't be like too smart or else you'll be nerdy. And I feel like some people might even consider like being very smart and speaking a certain way to be feminine. Like, why are you being so uppity or whatever? I don't know. And this person, I feel like is naturally very studious. They really like, I don't know, education, maybe reading, speaking. They're nerd, they're geek, whatever the terminology is. And you make them, like they don't have to like hold back their vocabulary around you. Passion for purpose, yeah. So, like I said, like this person, I feel like they're able to tell you their wildest dreams. And again, if this is your higher self, if these messages are coming from your higher self, they like being around the person that you love because that person it opens you up, and they like seeing you opened up. I feel like you also, I don't know, I'm just gonna stick to one perspective because it's kind of confusing. So let's just pretend that this is a divine masculine talking to you. You make them feel passionate about life in a way they didn't think was possible. I feel like they had a very narrow expectation of life. I feel like they didn't think they were going to get much fun and joy out of it because they were robbed of so much of it when they were younger. And so they just settled for like, the best I'm going to get is like a good night after work. I'll drink a beer or two and like, I'll be okay. But you make them feel like and remember that there can be more, it can be joy in the simplest of things, such as a small poem. I don't know, that's like, is it a haiku? I don't know what it's called. It's like a small Japanese poem where like a single flower that falls from a tree and lands on the grass. Like you make them very pleased with life. They like how life feels around you. It feels more alive. It feels more real, it feels more true, it feels authentic, it feels free, it feels non-judgmental. And yet at the same time, they kind of want to impress you still. And I feel like they didn't think they'd ever find themselves wanting to impress somebody in this way, not in a way that's like, oh, look how much money I have, or look at the title that I have, look what car I have, look what, I don't know, person I have on my side, look what degree I have. Like, not that way. They want to impress you in like goofy ways, like, look, I tied my shoe. Or like, look, I baked a cake and it didn't burn this time. Like, look, I found a restaurant. I hope you like it. Like, those types of ways they want to impress you. I feel like, I don't know, the mother of this person, like, I don't know, there's just something where they never saw this person with ruby cheeks, like with their pink cheeks. They might have had a part in that, not being a very good mother, or I don't know, whoever this is, a parent. But I feel like some sort of mother figure, I don't know, is surprised that this person is able to blush, or people around them are surprised that they're able to blush, because they never do. I feel like this person didn't know that they were only half alive until they met you. That's a name of a band. It's called Half Alive as well. Or I don't know. It's the name of an artist or a band. I don't know. I think specifically this song, Hot Tea. That's one of my favorite songs by them. H-O-T. And the next word is T-E-A, Hot Tea. Yeah. Let's get this card. Eight of Wands. So combined with all these passionate colors, we also have this very fast, high-paced, passionate card, the Eight of Wands. So to put it very mildly, you awaken this person's wild side. I keep seeing this man in my mind, and he's so kind of like robotic almost. I've read about different people, but I know other people don't read. But just in case you read, think of the book Twisted Love, like that character, Alex. Even kind of Christian Grey, but I feel like Christian Grey is like, he's deliberately cold. I feel like your person, when they're not around you, they're not deliberately cold. I feel like they are a kind person, and they like to do kind things for people. But I just feel like they were raised a certain way, or like they took the boyhood lessons, because I'm pretty sure this person is also not only a masculine, but specifically a man. They took the boy lessons really well. I would even say the movie Moonlight, the main character, like when he got older, I think, what did he do? I forgot what he did, but he like got muscles and he got a grill in his mouth, and he is not necessarily mean to people. I don't think he goes out of his way to be cold to people and calculated. He just shut off. He learned the lessons really well of life, from abandonment with his mother, and his mother being an addict, and I think getting bullied very badly in school. He just pulled back. But he's very smart. He's well read. He's very observant. But I feel like he didn't know that he was half alive until he got that call from his childhood crush. And it's like, I'm trying hard not to like cry and not to, tap too far into this person's emotions, but they are very emotional. It's like, it snapped him out of that. He thought that was how life was gonna be. Just, I wake up and I work, I get stuff done, I go through the motions. but you have fired this person up. And I feel like even now, you don't know the extent of your value, your worth to this person. But I feel like if you know who I'm talking about, you do, because you can feel it. I feel like maybe they haven't fully expressed it to you, and even if they have, I'm hearing them say like that's not enough. So we're gonna get some more messages. We're gonna use these goddess legendary ladies deck. I don't really like the name of it, to be frank. I prefer goddesses something, but maybe all those names are taken. What else does this person's higher self want you to know or want them to know? Oh, we have a winner. Oh wow, these two came out, and the last bit of card Rena did, or this is the one that the kitty bit. If you can see here, he likes cards, and he picked up this one with his teeth, with his vicious fangs. So your person, I feel like they want you to know that if they aren't paying attention to you right now, if they're focused on some sort of work, like, don't be fooled. Like, they think about you all the time, especially while they're doing this work. Like, you get them through the day, and I feel like the main reason that they're doing it, even if they haven't told you this, 44 on the clock, the main reason that they're doing this is to provide for you. I feel like they have a really roundabout way of doing things for you, but it's ultimately for you. I feel like they really don't care about money, and status and stuff like that. They're doing it all for you. So I don't know, I feel like they're saying, excuse me, you know, sorry if I don't like focus on you as much, but just know that I actually do. So yeah, now get out your questions. Oh, there's two already. Let's get out some dice. We have 43 and 17, 19, 4, 3, 17, 19. Might be important numbers. So the answer to question number 1 that you have, I'm hearing, is this one. Is no with an exclamation point. I feel like this is coming from them. I don't know. Did you ask like if they're seeing somebody else? They're like, no. Like, hell no. And then second question, yes and no. All right, so please leave a comment if this resonated. Feel free to donate if you'd like to support me in that way. If not, I would really appreciate a nice comment if you resonated, and I'll see you next time, Pound Number 1. Thank you. Pound number 2. Okay, so this person is sporty or athletic, whatever the term is. I heard sporty. Before we begin, go ahead and think of 1 or 2 questions that you would like answered at the end. Yes or no questions, because we're going to get them from this little jar that I have with the red top. So, I don't know, pause the video, write them down. Pause the video to think about what you want to ask, but think about at least 2 yes or no questions that you'd like answered at the end of this reading. Just gonna shuffle. Messages from the Divine Masculine, Higher Self of Power number 2. No. No. Like, this person is also like, I don't know, they're straight. They know what they like and they know what they don't like. So, like I was telling Power 1, this has been kind of difficult to read because I feel like, for one, it's 2 things. It's messages from your person, like your person, if I don't know, if you have like some sort of person, I don't know, divine counterpart or whoever you're thinking about, this is messages from the higher self of them, of their divine masculine. And it's also, if you are the divine masculine watching this, your higher self, these are messages from them. Like, so it works both ways. So just bear with me and switch terms up, switch situations up depending on what you need to hear. But I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to channel. It gets in the way of my messages when I try to flip back and forth. But yeah, anyways, this person is athletic and sportive. I'm sorry if I like say words wrong because I took a lot of French classes. Not a lot, but sometimes I get French words and English words messed up. Very rarely. But in French is sportif and sportive. And I think it means athletic, pretty sure. I don't know, this person might speak French or some sort of romance language like Spanish. But if they're not athletic themselves, I feel like they used to have like some sort of aspiration to be like a professional athlete, or at least to play in college or something, or overseas. And if not, this person likes some sort of sport. They like to watch, most likely soccer, but it could be football, could be tennis, could be golf, could be track, I don't know, cross country, swimming. They really like to watch some sort of sport. And because I feel like, because this is one of the first messages coming through, I feel like this person might have difficulty expressing how they feel, because now my throat is getting like tight. They might have trouble like saying exactly how they feel. This is smoky quartz. I don't know, it might be a message in here for you, but I feel like, yeah, this person, like, instead of saying I'm sorry, they'll be like, hey, you want to go like to this sports bar and like watch a game? Like, instead of talking things through and admitting things, this could be with anybody, like, I don't know, their sibling, their brother, like, instead of like saying, I'm so sorry, I hurt your feelings, or you want to talk about what happened with, mom and dad, I don't know, dad and dad, they'll just be like, you want to grab a beer? I don't know. You want to go on a hike or something? And like, they'll just be silent. They'll talk about anything except for, the specific issue. So you got 3 cards. A lot of trouble with the throat chakra for this person, and probably even the heart chakra. Let love transform. So this person is undergoing a transformation. So it might be really stormy, like how this card looks. But I feel like a part of them is grateful for it because they didn't like how their life was. They don't like it. Then you have the all-encompassing hand. This person really needs to surrender. They would very much benefit from trusting the people who are trustworthy. So I feel like a part of the reason why this person doesn't like to speak their truth is because they fear retaliation. I feel like they might have tried to at different points in the past, but they were like ridiculed or made to feel shamed for wanting to talk about emotions. And so they didn't. For some reason, I'm seeing the TV show or the series called The OA. It's on Netflix, and it stands for The Original Angel. And I think I'm gonna spoil it, so sorry if you haven't watched it and you plan to, but basically there's this guy and he hunts down angels on Earth, so Earth angels, these people who seem to be able to not die. Like, they go through these events, these near-death experiences, and they just keep being alive. And I feel like because of that, people who are, who are earth angels, who are star seeds, who are sensitives, there's this vulnerability because that comes with a lot of loneliness. And this man, this angel hunter, exploited that, like, by promising them that he told them, I see you, like, you know, I've noticed you, I've seen that you do these things, you're not from here, there's something special about you, that you're different. And he promises them this sanctuary, and then he just puts them in a glass cage. And so it's like there's something like that that happened with this person, where somebody came and like pretended that they would love them for who they were. Like they told them a secret, or they shared with them these intimate truths that they knew people thought were weird, but this person convinced them that it was okay, you know, it's a safe space, it's gonna be fine. And then they betrayed them. I don't know, I feel like this has happened in like a movie or something, where like a kid at a sleepover like confides in their best friend, like, you know, I wet the bed, and their best friend is like, oh, I'm not gonna tell anybody. And then like the first chance that their best friend got, they told the whole camp like that you wet the bed, that this person wet the bed. So right now, I feel like this person is also like healing some sort of mother wound, because it looks like two mamas here, but they would very much benefit from trusting people again, and specifically people that they know for sure, like they know in their heart, forgiving themselves for being naive as well. We have, yeah, look at that, hands, two hands here, all-encompassing hand, and the hand of Fatima or Fatima. I don't know how to pronounce things. So there might be something very specific in this reading about hands. So maybe this person is a healer. When they touch you, when they touch other people, or when you touch other people, you heal. So this is like glowing light. They have, they might have really good clairtangience is what I called it, which is like a psychic touch, like touching items and being able to like pick up on, I don't know, psychic messages from touch. And so with that being said, I feel like another message for or from this person is that they will very much benefit from some sort of physical healing. So whether it's being with their divine counterpart, could be you, being with, I don't know, a trustworthy parental figure, doesn't have to be biological, and like hugging them would very much help this person to heal, or very much help you to heal. So the cards we have, Eight of Wands came out again. We have Four of Cups. We have Six of Swords in reverse. We have High Priestess in reverse, and then Nine of Swords. Let's organize these a bit. I just got like a jump of fear in my chest, like, oh no, oh no. I'm gonna pull this one again, because I feel like this feeling has to do with, now that I'm tapped into their energy and we're not talking about sports no more, this person is kind of scared. Their inner child, there's something that happened. I don't know if it was once, it occurred once, or if it was something that happened like multiple times, or I don't know, on a weekly basis. But there is some sort of trauma from their childhood that they are actively facing. I'm seeing this little boat here, reminds me of the Six of Swords. And I feel like gradually, like I can't even breathe. I get like, my breathing has increased. They are facing this, and I feel like it's making them very uncomfortable. So at this time, I don't know if they've said something feisty to you. I honestly don't feel like they meaned it. They meaned it? I don't know. Are they from somewhere with like, I don't know, accents? I don't know. If they meant it, I'm seeing like, imagine a cat that's been like on the street having to fend for itself, and like if you try to touch it and like bring it in your house, like it might attack you. Like you being kind and reaching out to that cat might trigger it, because they've had some sort of interaction, this creature in the past, where somebody reached out and touched them and it hurt. So even though you are coming from a place of kindness and love, they still have that gut instinct. So I wouldn't take anything personally if this person has said something mean to you or cut you off. It's because Spirit is bringing this up. See, transforming. Spirit is bringing this up so they can transform. Excuse me, and heal. I also felt fear with this. Oh look, I said Six of Swords. Here it is. I'm also feeling. I felt a little bit of fear with this High Priestess, and I think even this Nine of Swords. And in some decks, I feel like this is somebody like sleeping and waking up from a nightmare, and then this High Priestess. So this person may be having like prophetic dreams, getting like these very psychic, events happening for them, and I feel like that's triggering for them. It might have something to do with you, because you are, obviously into tarot and to, what's it called? Esoteric things. And I feel like they maybe, pushed you away because of that. Maybe it was like a sin where they're from, like it was looked down upon to be in contact with spirits and stuff like that. And since now they're having these experiences themselves, having prophetic dreams, having psychic knowings, like I said, clairtangience, like their gifts are waking up and it's scaring them, because that's a part of them that they were taught to shame and associate with, like the typical, the evil witches, the demons and stuff like that. And it's making them very uncomfortable. They may be having a lot of sleepless nights. And I feel like this also may be leaking over to you, especially if you are this person's divine counterpart. Obviously you're very connected, even with this Four of Cups, like this leaking into your world. You may have dreams of them like reaching out to you while they're very scared, or having them, like seeing them in your dreams as terrified of something, or this feeling of intense fear and anxiety. I felt this one. Yeah, Ace of Cups was in reverse. So I feel like instead of taking these events, these psychic, these cool miracles as miracles, they're taking them as like, signs of things to fear, but it's just because of how they were raised and the societal fears surrounding the unknown. You know what I mean? It's like, for example, if they keep seeing like angel numbers, like 33, instead of being like, oh wow, that's an angel number, they're seeing it as something is following me. They're kind of paranoid. What can they do to heal this, or get some advice? Queen of Cups. Be more. Six of Pentacles. Be more emotionally vulnerable. Look at these cups coming out. This person is trying to like stop it. I feel like they should be more emotionally vulnerable with themselves. And I feel like this is something that you can do if you're not this person, is like pour your heart out. Doesn't have to be to them. Doesn't have to even be to anybody. You could be to yourself, talking to yourself. Pour your heart out. Any ugly thing, any beautiful thing, anything at all that you're feeling and experiencing, validate it completely. And that will help this process along. All right, so now, anything else? Okay, no. I'm hearing yes and no. Anything else you would like to say? Let's get these goddess cards again, because I feel like there's something else that needs to be said before we answer the questions. I said 3 times. Anything else that you would like to say? Pile number 2, please. I was like, why the hell people like hit the card so hard, and then I do the same thing? We have Demeter, Harvest. So this is reminding me of that movie, Demeter. It came out 2023, and it's about this vampire. It's about how they brought Dracula to London, and the name of the ship was this. It's like they carried the Dracula and brought him to London on that ship. And so I feel like there is something this person is carrying around with them that is not theirs, And I feel like they might not even know that they're carrying around it, because the people on that ship, they didn't know that they had, you know, the king of vampires or whatever on that ship. It's hidden. And so I feel like, I don't know, you can tell their higher self, or you can protect both of you by protecting yourself, by making yourself aware that there is some sort of, I would say, negative entity or negative belief system, which is the same thing, that is attached to this person and following them around. And I feel like it's giving them a really hard time, and they can't figure out, like, why do I keep, you know, they want to heal this, but they can't. And I feel like it's because, or they're having a lot of trouble doing that, and it's because of a lot of influence from something. I don't know, maybe look up that movie. I keep forgetting what it's called, but I remember it had this word on the ship. It's a recent movie, came out 2023. Yeah, because sorry, showing the camera, this Spider-Man, this Spider-Woman came out. It's like a woven web, and I remember this is from a Native American folklore, or a Native American culture, the Spider-Woman or Spider Grandmother. I feel like this energy is here to heal by connecting the dots. So there's something this person isn't aware of that is, like, I don't know, sucking off of their energy field. Like I said, even if it is just their own native beliefs that they're unaware of. And, you know, that's the thing about shadows, is like you're unaware of it. And so, I don't know, you know, you can't heal something that you don't reveal. And so this person might need assistance with revealing it. And you don't have to, you know, go and tell this person, because they might, I don't know, because they have all these wounds from childhood. You can just talk to their higher self. Boundaries, yeah. Have really good boundaries. Like I said, like, you protecting yourself and clearing your own energy field can help this person do the same. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but let's move on. Okay, what is the first answer? There is this one, and there's one right there, and let's get you one of these. And I heard a zodiac sign. Come on. Oh, so we have 3. You can think of a third question if you haven't. This one wants to come out too, but no. So the number 23, or if you've been saying zeros a lot, but I heard 2023. And I kept saying this movie came out in 2023, so that's important. We have Cancer, and we have Libra. So your first question, think of it, please. The answer is no. Second question, is this one? The answer is no. And for anybody who had 3 questions, you can pause it now if you want to think of one. Yes. So please leave a comment if this resonated. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to go check out my latest energy update called the Paradigm Shift. I think it'll help a lot. And you are welcome to donate if you would like to support me in that way. And if you can't, then that's fine. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile 3. All right, hopefully some sunny energy for you. So before we get started, go ahead and think of 1 or 2 questions, 1 or 2 yes or no questions. Yes, you can get these answered today. I don't know, I heard somebody feel like, I don't know, asking that. Think of 1 or 2 yes or no questions that you would like to be answered today before we get started. I'm gonna use this deck with you. I feel like there's a lightness in the air, and whoever this is for, whether this is somebody else, like your divine counterparts, divine masculine, you know, your divine masculine's higher self, or whether this is you and this is your own higher self, there is a lightness in the air for this person. Like I said, whether it's you or somebody else. And I feel like they're doubting it. They're like, I don't know, something is going good for them, or they just feel better. They don't feel so much hate for themselves anymore. They feel better, and I feel like they're doubting it. Because I feel like for a long time, look at that, 6 of Swords. For a long time, the reason that this person was like staying away from you or like punishing themselves is because they feel like they were gonna hurt you. Like because of their, I don't know, their trauma and their baggage from their, I don't know, I'm hearing past life or their life before you. And so they kept holding themselves back, like saying, I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. If I go and I'm with this person, then I will ruin them. Like I'll be mean to them, because I feel like they might have in the past, like said things they didn't mean, pushed you away, kept making trouble and kept making drama when there was none, you know, just being their own worst enemy. And so for a while they kept holding themselves back because they still had like that negative self-talk, like this little, you know, the angel and the demon on the shoulder, like going back and forth between these two versions of themselves, or what they wanted, and like being confused almost, like, do I really want this? Am I really ready for, I don't know, a connection of this caliber? And so they, you know, they left you alone, probably, you know, very sadly or against their own wishes. But I feel like now it's quiet. Like there's no more nagging voice. There's no more nagging voice. I feel like even like, I don't know, if at the time they were dealing with something, let's say, for example, they were dealing with car issues. So that was something that was really pressing them and on their mind. And I feel like now they don't have that issue anymore. Like, I don't know, maybe they got a new car, maybe they don't need a car anymore. So it's like all the things that were keeping them from you are gone now. And so there's no reason anymore for them to stay away. And I feel like they've been getting the signs from spirit, like it's in the clear, it's all good, you're out of the woods, like the Taylor Swift song. Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods yet? Are we out of the woods? Like they're out of the woods now. It really does feel like that. It feels like a clearing. And I feel like I feel like they noticed it. It jarred them, the silence, because it was so loud. There was this like voice, this anxiety always nagging at them. And like I said, these different material troubles. And I feel like those troubles have dissolved themselves, that they've solved themselves. And now the only thing holding them back is themselves. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. I feel like that's carrying on from pile number 2. Yep. Divine disconnect. Beautiful. Blessing of Alakim. Angel Rasbar. So I want to start with this one. Divine disconnect. This is what I'm talking about. Like they're disconnected from that anxiety. I feel like a part of it was even like society, like feeling pressured, like there was this energy like pressuring them. You're not good enough, you need to do this, you need to do that, and once you have this, then you'll maybe be good enough. You're not good enough yet, like, you know what I mean? Like this pressure. And I feel like they've stopped listening to it, they've disconnected from it. And I do feel like it took them a while, but I feel like one day it literally just disappeared. And I feel like this has to do with shifts in energy, and also with like internal work that they were doing gradually over time, that they forgot what their goal even was, until one day it was quiet and they like looked up like, something, what's bothering me. And I realized it was nothing for the first time. I do feel like I want to read a little bit of this from the actual Rumi deck. But let's move on for now. So I feel like this is Spirit saying to them or to you, depending on if this is you, your higher self, I'm giving you a blessing now. And specifically, Al-Hakim, it's made me think of, obviously Jay-Z. I was thinking of Jay-Z. It's like, Al-Hakim is a whole new regime. He said that in one of his songs. But I feel like this is, for me, the Al-Hakim is reminding me of the king, like divine masculine. I think it's African name, Hakim, I think. It means like king in maybe a language, I'm not sure. But that's what I'm picking up, that this is a blessing of kingship. This is a blessing of getting in that position of being the divine masculine. And I feel like for a long time, this person was chasing that energy. Like, one day I'll be able to be an actual king. One day I'll be able to be a true divine masculine. I'll have the resources, I'll have the position. And it's not so much about whether or not this person reached, the level of material abundance or whatever they were aiming for, but they are now in a vibration, in a mindset, in a headspace where they feel like Al-Hakim, where they feel like Hakim, where they feel like the emperor. It's a state of mind. And I've seen this with, to be frank, my uncles. Like, it's this energy of like, there's nothing that is outside of my reach. And as I am everything that I own. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I don't know. Like, have you seen people? I'll just give an example with Jay-Z, since we're sticking with him. In the film by Beyonce, Black is King, Jay-Z comes in during his feature on a song, Mood Forever. And I remember I was talking so passionately to this guy about it. And I was telling him, like, that scene where Jay-Z comes to the mansion where his queen Beyonce is, he's in this car, and it's no ceiling on a car, it's topless. And he's got his feet stretched out, and he looks the embodiment of power, but he's not moving, he's not doing anything, he's not chasing, he's not running, he's sitting, and he's relaxed, and he's comfortable with himself, and he's not cowering. His legs are fully extended, crossed at the ankles. And I feel like that's how your person is now. They're not trying to be tough. They're not trying to be this toxic, macho, masculine person. They're not running. They're not chasing anything. They're with themselves. And I feel like they also aren't looking too harshly at themselves either. That's the space that this person is in. And it's a blessing. Like I said, I feel like this just happened one day. It's a blessing from Spirit. And I heard this is you. And then I picked this up like, this is you. So it's odd because usually we read from left to right, but this, I've been reading from right to left. Like this happened, the disconnect from that nagging voice. And then now this person is in their, in their masculine hood, I don't know. And then now their gift is you. It's like now they can return to you, the angel of Raspar is what you are. Because this kind of looks like a bride with these flowers and the flower girl. I don't know. It's giving me like a bride. She's got her dress on. She's got her flowers on. Regardless if your gender is female or not. Anybody can wear a dress, first of all. But you know what I mean. It's giving me flowers. I finished this book today. It's called Things We Never Got Over. And it started with this woman. She was a runaway bride, and she showed up in this small town with daisies in her hair. And the first time the guy of the story saw her, she had flowers in her hair and she looked a mess. Towards the end of the book, spoilers if you're going to read it, so sorry. Towards the end of the book, he's like, you got to marry me, but on one condition. You got to have daisies in your hair when we get married. And that's just reminding me of this. Like, you got to, when he first saw her, she was a mess. And he's like, I fell in love with that mess. And I feel like your person, I don't know, maybe they critiqued you in the past, or that's what they told themselves maybe about you. Like, you know, you're not ready. I don't know, I'm hearing she. Just change the gender if you don't, what's it called? Identify as she. But it's like they're saying, you know, she doesn't have her stuff together. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's a mess. She's a lot. You know, she needs to think about herself and, I don't know, get herself together. I don't know, maybe they said this to you, or maybe they just had these thoughts, even though they didn't want them. Like, maybe they had these thoughts, like this nagging voice that was there before was saying all these things about you. And now they're like, I love you just how you are. And they always did. But I'm telling you, there was this inner critic, even that I don't know, with this Six of Swords, I'm seeing this one, and also this one. Excuse me. There was this inner critic that criticized the hell out of them and then transferred onto everybody around them. I feel like they might have had a hard time, like, feeling comfortable with anybody because nobody was good enough for this inner critic. And even though they loved you, their inner critic didn't hold back even with you. And so I don't know, maybe they told you that you were too feminine. You're too feminine, you're too naive, you're too trustworthy, you know, you're too soft, you're too emotional. You know, why do you want to be in love? You know, stuff like that. Why are you so mushy? Why are you so vulnerable? Like, stuff like that. And it wasn't necessary. It was coming from this part of themselves that was nagging voice. And I do feel like they do take responsibility for that. But it is gone now. And I feel like now that it is, they see you as the beautiful queen, beautiful royal that you are, without exception. So, I don't know. Maybe we don't need to read that. Or maybe we do. I don't know. I'm trying to, like, not spend all this time on the clock. Make sure I have enough storage in my phone. This person is much, much more relaxed, I'm telling you, than they were before. Oh, look, I look right on it. I know your heart. I hear it breaking and groaning in the darkest night when you imagine yourself to be silently cast adrift in sleep. It speaks to me, that sacred heart of yours, whispering its longing and bemoaning its divine discontent. I kept saying disconnect. This word is actually discontent. It knows when something is amiss. It senses that something is not quite right as yet, but there is a piece of the puzzle missing. Even in its tremendous gratitude for all that is, and there is much gratitude and sweet appreciation, that precious heart of yours, there is a murmuring, a question. It cries out to heaven, vouchsafe me a blessing. I cannot go on. I am broken and in need of your tenderness and for healing. I am empty and I need filling, not with stuff, but bits, but with the most precious nectar of divine fulfillment. Nothing else will satisfy me. Please restore me to wholeness. I can bear this missing piece, this broken disarray no longer. I listen and cajole that wise heart of yours. I praise it for its honesty and longing, for the longing is an irresistible perfume to the beloved, attracting the only salve that will soothe the divine discontent of your truth-speaking heart, that of the divine presence, absolute and unquestionable. So, I also feel like when that silence hit, it was you. You know that scene in The Notebook where she gets proposed, Allie gets proposed to by, what's his name, Lance, and she's like, the narrator's like, Allie couldn't quite figure out why the moment she said yes, the first thing she thought of was Noah. It's like this person finally got that silence that they wanted, and in a space where they wanted, and the first thing that hit them was you. You got some passion. Passion, passion, passion. I can be so silly. I really can. I don't know why I thought I flipped it over. It was not flipped. It was not flipped at all. Okay. Hopefully you can see everything. All right. So I feel like now this person is in a new age, new phase of feeling. I feel like they've never been in a space like this where they aren't being so readily dismissive of their emotions. This is a moonstone. I keep feeling it. Yeah, I feel like this person never allowed themselves to truly sit with hope, to truly, I don't know, it's like that song, now that we found love, what are we gonna do with it? It's like they never dreamed that that voice would shut up. They never dreamed that they'd get to a place where they felt comfortable with themselves, where they weren't fighting themselves, they weren't fighting life, where they weren't running from anything, you know, because me personally, I still have like fears and triggers come up for me, but they don't bother me nearly as much as they used to. Like, for example, you know, sometimes I have insecurities about like comparing myself to other women, and like I'll hear them sometimes, but they don't hold the same weight. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay, nice. I don't really like go into them anymore. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's there, but like it doesn't sting. I've been watching beekeeper videos, like the lady who saves the bees, and she was talking about how she still gets stung, but it doesn't hurt as much as it used to because she's been stung so many times. Like, she was even saying like her body, like it doesn't get as irritated, her skin, because it's used to it, but it still stings, you know, it's still there. And that's this person. Like, I feel like they never thought that they would beat this level in the game. They never thought that they would get this far, and now that they have, I feel like it's glaringly clear that they are in love with somebody, and that person is you. Or, you know, if this is you watching the video, you know who that person is. I just heard they remind you of a rosebud. Yeah, Eight of Wands has come out in every single pile. So this is the energy of the divine masculine, I do feel, despite, I don't know, my reality. It does feel like the divine masculine is making forward movement very quickly in a material, physical way. They've planted seeds, they're planting seeds, and I do feel like they're gonna, like, this is a story, they're gonna come forward. Like, now that they've gotten this balance, now they can run. They couldn't run before because they were off balance. Now they're on balance. Now they can run. Now they're planting seeds, and they're gonna come full-fledged with emotions, holding space for their own emotions, being honest, being genuine with themselves, embracing these, you know, deep, in-depth parts of themselves. You know, the biggest part of the iceberg is under the water. It's just the tip of the iceberg that's on top. And I feel like this is, I don't know, I feel like this is them discovering also. It looks like this person is looking back. I don't know. I feel like this person was looking down. Let's pretend they're looking down. And they're looking down, they're discovering for the first time, oh wow, look how much I feel. I never allowed myself to feel this much, and now it's very obvious that I'm completely, utterly, irrevocably, my Bella Swan voice, irrevocably in love with you. It's very, very clear, because I feel like this person, like I said, they had that critic in them was telling them, oh, you don't actually love them that much. Like, you don't actually feel, it was a lot of gaslighting And so I feel like in some ways they did start to believe that voice. Like they started to believe, yeah, you know what, you might be onto something. Like, you know, maybe, I don't know, I feel like that critic, that voice was telling them that you were manipulating them, that you were trying to get something from them, that you didn't really love them. You just had a motive, or you were trying to live out your fantasy life through them. You know, you didn't actually love them for them. You wanted to play out this dream fantasy of, like, I don't know, husband and wife and the two kids and the picket fence. Like, maybe you're projecting on them and trying to get them to be something they didn't want. It was all lies, honestly. And I feel like they avoided their emotions for you for a long time out of this kind of fear. Even though you were popping up, you were always everywhere with them. And I feel like sometimes they would allow themselves to indulge, but there's this voice, I'm telling you, it's very loud with them. And like every time they tried, I don't know, maybe they even tried to, this was a no contact kind of situation. Maybe they even like had nights where they were like, oh, I'm gonna message them, or I'm gonna call them, I'm gonna confess, I'm gonna say I'm sorry. And in would swoop in this voice like, no, you're not. You know, no, you're not going to do that. They don't actually love you. You don't actually love them. This was nothing. You made it all up in your head. Or, you know, even if you didn't, they've moved on. There was somebody else. They don't actually love you. Like, it just was all these things. You know, it's reminding me of the Tangled movie and Rapunzel's mother. And anytime Rapunzel would, like, have dreams, her mother would shut them down. Her mother was very toxic and gaslighting. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe this person had somebody like that in their lives. It's even reminded me of the book Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, where her mother would like call her and shut down any good thing she had going into her life, or even normal things. You know, it would just be shut down. It kept her very paranoid and self-doubting and kind of very irritated with everybody around her, because nobody was ever perfect, and that irritated the hell out of her, because that's what her critic demanded, perfection. And then it turned out, spoilers for this book as well, it turned out that the mother had died, and that was just her own voice telling her these things. So there's something with this person where they adopted some sort of toxic voice from somebody else that was constantly critiquing them. Because with these dominoes falling, it's like this person had to, that whole paradigm had to fall, that castle had to crumble, that relationship with whoever this person was had to end and dramatically change. And now they're seeing with new eyes this connection, this love. They're seeing it as, for the first time, something that's not terrible and like detrimental, but seeing it as something like, oh, love can be an opportunity, like a relationship, being in a partnership, a connection with somebody, being married to somebody. Wow, it doesn't have to be a cage. It doesn't have to be this kind of endless contest of, am I good enough? You know, it can be fun. It can be nice to have somebody support you. It can be nice to have a partner to walk through life with. Like, they're seeing it now from this perspective. And I don't know, I heard somebody might be upset about this, that it took them this long. 4 cups, but I feel like, I don't know, this looks like a small person, like a child, and like they're seeing things for the first time from a new perspective. Because I feel like for a long time they just saw these small cups and things in a very compartmentalized way. And now they are seeing this larger cup, like, oh wow, this love could actually help me. I could actually enjoy life more if I had this person in my life. Like, they're seeing like the benefits, the magic of getting to be in a connection versus just the downfalls, which mostly had to do with themselves and whether or not they could stand up to the, I don't know, the rules or whatever. So we're gonna get a message from this book for some reason. It's Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas or Sarah J. Maas. Tacky crap carnival tricks, Selena told herself again and again, her breath clouding in the chill air inside the wagon. None of it was real, but yellow legs and the knowledge she offered truly was. So yeah, tacky, cheap carnival tricks. This person, even it says here, this can't be real. It must be an illusion of the mirrors. So yeah, this person was definitely being fucked with, manipulated, and tricked by whatever this energy was. I don't know whether if it was, like I said, like a deliberate attack, or like I don't know if I said that, a deliberate attack, or like some sort of entity that they, or some sort of thought pattern that they inherited from somebody else, bothered them for a long time and really interfered with this connection. But I do feel like Spirit was saying that they've been blessed, and Spirit has cleared that for this person. And now they're seeing things in a much better way. So get your question out, doing that one and that one. So these two are together. And we're gonna get one of these. So the zodiac sign we have is Capricorn. I heard get another one. Let's see. And Leo. I knew it. Leo. 15 or 515. 20 and 80 for the angel numbers. So your first question, I heard these two. First two questions. First question, the answer is no. Second question, the answer is yes. For some people, these may be switched. So, okay, and think of a third question now. You can pause the video if you need to. The answer is no. So this has been your reading. Please leave a comment if this resonated. Feel free to donate if you would like to support me in that way. I would really appreciate it. Go check out my latest cosmic energy update called the Open Shifting Paradigm, something like that. It's really good. And just thank you so much for your support. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.